Konnichiwa, minasan! Welcome back to the AniMeet Documentary Part 2. I'm your host, Neku-chan, and in our previous episode, we delved into the behind-the-scenes world of Nerd Otaku as we interviewed the staff members who worked tirelessly to bring the convention to life. But now, it's time to shine the spotlight on the vibrant souls who also make up the heart and soul of AniMeet, the vendors, artists, and cosplayers. Let's dive right in, shall we? First up, let's get to know our people.
My name is Inos J. Malunga. I'm an artist, nerd, and everything else in between because I like trying new stuff. My page is Zambian Nerd Space. If you like movies, comics, everything all around cool, it's just there.
Hi, my name is Luna. I go as La Luna Otaku on Instagram, and I was a cosplayer at the AniMeet.
My name is Lonia, and I'm a cosplayer. And at the AniMeet, I was cosplaying Hanji from Attack on Titan.
Hi, my name is Malindi, and most people know me as Mali-chan. And this year at the AniMeet, I was amongst the cosplayers.
My name is Mazwa Chimbeza, although I go by Mazwa Q on Instagram. And my job, I guess, is digital art and drawing comics.
Are there any interesting facts or hobbies you have?
Hobbies, I can draw. I think I can do magic. No, I can't do magic. That was a straight up lie. But I can do other cool stuff like yeah, there are no other interesting facts, but like the most interesting thing about me is no, I can't think of anything. but yeah, let's keep going.
Any interesting facts or hobbies about myself? Wow, I love reading, I love drawing, I love writing. Anything that would just get me in the creative mood, you know? I love creating. And for hobbies, interesting facts. I don't know why everyone hates it, but I'm a fan of country music.
Okay, so basically, I like to collect books and read books as well. I also collect spoons. I'm a spoon collector. I also like to do DIY projects. I recently did my whole wall in my room. So I did a whole thing where I put a wallpaper and stuff. Yeah, I like to decorate stuff. And I'm very interested in the psychology of serial killers. I don't know if that's interesting enough, but yeah. I'm very interested in how their minds work. So I don't normally read self-help, but I do read books about psychology because I'm interested in how the whole psyche works. Okay.
So, some of my hobbies include gaming, cosplaying, and just those two things. Oh no, I read as well. There we go. I knew there were like three. So yes, I am a cosplayer. I am also a gamer, and I dabble in reading. Though most of the reading I do these days has definitely been manga. I haven't read a proper novel in a while. Please don't crucify me. But I've been more of a gamer recently, actually. I usually game either if it's for my channel when I'm streaming or just for myself, really. I just game and I talk about it on my channel. I make reviews or recommendations, and I try to play a lot of games every year. This year I'm actually trying to complete my backlog because I have a habit of starting games and not finishing them. But yeah, when I'm not gaming, most people know me for my cosplaying. I am a cosplayer. Most of my cosplays are closet cosplays. Yeah, cosplay is a very expensive hobby. But yeah, I do a lot of cosplay. Usually just here in my room with whatever clothes I have. I try to see what characters I can cosplay.
My hobbies, I guess I'd say, apart from drawing, artists, that's the thing. Drawing, watching anime, reading comics and manga, and that's about it. Honestly, that's about it. Just those things, anything connected with the art form of making comics and just art in general.
What was it like preparing for the AniMeet?
Okay, so before preparing for the AniMeet, I didn't know that I was actually going to go. So the thing is, it came as a total shock to me when someone said that they'll get me a ticket, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, word, let's go. And then when I actually got there, it was like super busy. Everybody seemed super stressed because like most of my friends are in the organizing committees and doing everything else. So it was like pretty interesting. I helped them a bit, and then like, but I had to ditch them because like the fun was going on inside. That's where the fun stuff was. And then when I actually got in there, it was pretty exciting. It was like the video games, the stickers, the merch. My gosh, the merch. Like my favorites were mostly the t-shirts. They were pretty good. It was better than most I've seen in a long while, considering that it's pretty hard to get your hands on some decent anime merch or any superhero stuff. Like my favorite was something like the My Hero Academia t-shirts. Because like when you go or try to shop online, those things are pretty pricey. But when we went there, they were still pretty pricey on a student budget, but they were affordable. And that was like one of like the things that were like, okay, we're moving up in the world. So there was that. Okay, that's it. After the event, I was pretty sure like we had to go back to our normal lives, back to depression and everything else that wasn't like holding us together. So like now the only thing that's holding my mental health in check is the fact that there's going to be LS concert. And after the event, it was pretty exhausting. I met up with a bunch of my friends, and like we came together, got some food. It was pretty exciting and exhausting. So it was a pretty memorable experience. I can't say I would give it up for anything. If I would do it again, I would do it again right now. So in fact, that's like, when's the next one?
All right. What was the most memorable part of the AniMeet and your impression of the event afterwards? Well, personally, it was a scavenger hunt for me. Though I didn't take part in it, it was very busy that day. But it was fun just to see people running around, doing their stuff, just trying to get the thing done. And that was really cool. It's very memorable. I remember one of them even fell, like running, trying to get there before time ended, and it was fun to watch. I'm okay, sadist. I'm sorry. And what was the event afterwards? Impression of the event afterwards. It was fun, honestly. It was cool. It was really fun. I love the energy. The energy was just out of the world. Like, it was just there. That's the energy I live for, I want to experience that again. Please.
I waited until like 2 days before the event to make my costume, which was very, very hard. I was working under extreme pressure. I was making these props. Since I cosplayed Hanji, I wanted to make the thunder spears to like make the cosplay more interesting, and I did that. I actually spray painted it the day of the AniMeet, which was, well, not easy because I forgot to do the protection with my face, and then I snorted some of the spray paint and was a bit woozy the entire day. But yeah, it was cool. So during the AniMeet, I don't remember much of it. I dissociated a lot because I was overstimulated, and I wish I experienced more of that. But I do remember karaoke. We did Sasageo. We sang that, and I felt very nice because I was in cosplay and we were singing a song from Attack on Titan, so that was very interesting. Afterwards, I unwinded by going to the after party, which was very interesting. And then after that, I needed like a whole month to recharge from that because, again, I was overstimulated, but it was very fun. I really enjoyed the event. I liked the fact that it was in 2 rooms, like there were 2 different rooms for different events. Like one room had karaoke and different stands. There was a Japanese embassy, and the other room had video games and merch. And I really liked that. Like I could be in either room and I could have fun. And my favorite part of the cons is always this 360 booth. I love pictures and I love videos, so that was my favorite part.
I think this year, for me, one of the most memorable things of preparing for AniMeet was definitely helping my siblings get ready as well. I came with my siblings this year. They attended the AniMeet with me, and they also wanted to join in on the cosplay fun, although they decided very late. So I kind of had to throw together like closet cosplays for them. But you know, it was fun being able to put together outfits for them and trying to see what characters they could go as. Preparing for AniMeet myself was also very fun. I think putting together a costume for events like this is always loads of fun. I mean, it does incur some stress, definitely. It's stressful. Either trying to make sure, if you're ordering, you try to make sure your costume is arriving on time, or if you're having it made, you want to make sure that the tailor is not gonna mess it up. Or, you know, making sure that you have the fabric if you're making it yourself. Gosh, people who make their cosplays themselves, big ups to you guys. It's very hard to do. So I give those guys a round of applause. It's hard work. But you know, this time around for AniMeet, I didn't go too big. It was more or less a cosplay of Zenitsu, so I didn't have to do much. But you know, it was still fun putting together the outfits. It's always so much fun, especially getting dressed on the day. Getting dressed on the day is always so much fun. You know, putting on the whole thing and seeing everything come together with the makeup and the props, if you have any. I had a prop sword this time around, and you know, it's very fun just seeing the character come together when you put on the outfit yourself. It brings a huge smile to my face. It makes me so happy. I had lots of fun doing that, you know. And the event itself this year, man, don't even get me started. I had so much fun as a cosplayer, you know. I was able to meet lots of other cosplayers, lots of other new cosplayers, and even just like old friends. I didn't know that, you know, sometimes when I go for events like this, I feel like I've met everyone there is to meet. You feel like, oh, you know everyone. But you know, the more I go to these events and the more new people show up, new cosplayers, new gamers and whatnot, you know, it really makes me think, oh, you know what? There are more people that I've yet to meet. And I did meet so many new cosplayers that day. And it was so lovely to see so many people in cosplay in the same place. It was so much fun. I took as many pictures and videos as I could with all the cosplayers, because you know, it was just so much fun. And I just love seeing all those people being able to dress up as their favorite characters and just, you know, show off their costumes and strut their stuff. You know, everybody's so proud of how they look, and everybody looked absolutely great. Everybody who cosplayed definitely came to slay. They all pretty much killed it. I loved how everybody looked, and you know, it makes me so happy to see people be able to express themselves like that, and it makes me feel safe to express myself in that kind of way as well, because you know, you're with like-minded people, you know, like you don't feel shy to express yourself in such a way. And that's definitely how AniMeet made me feel. You know, I felt safe because I was around so many like-minded people, so many cosplayers, so many people who like anime, so many people who like games, you know. And I went away from the event feeling so full, like, you know, in heart. I didn't eat like a lot. I mean, emotionally. I went away feeling like my heart was full because I got to interact with all these people and just see everybody be so happy in that space, and everybody feels so safe to express themselves in that way, and it put a big smile on my face. At the end of the day, I left feeling really satisfied. Sad that it had to end, obviously. But I was satisfied. It was a feeling of satisfaction that I felt like I had achieved something that day, because I met so many like-minded people and got to see so many people just living their truth and being themselves in that space, and it was lovely to see. It was a great event. I still think about it even now. It was really good.
Preparing for the AniMeet, well, for me specifically, it wasn't that hard because I was selling prints. All I had to do was just find the right printer, and I had plenty of time, months in fact, before I was supposed to go to the AniMeet, so it was pretty smooth on that part. During the AniMeet, it was all right. I guess there'd be goods and bads, because I saw a lot of things, met new people, talked to people, discussed our favorite things. But the hard part was maybe trying to draw in a crowd so that they can see what I have to sell. And then afterwards, what I learned from the AniMeet is, I guess, how to be a good salesman and how to really get in touch and talk to people about the things they love.
What was the most difficult part of attending the AniMeet?
The games, there would definitely be there would definitely need to be more variety in the number of games that you could play. The food would need to be less pricey. What else? The food would definitely need to be less pricey. There would need to be more games for people to play. I'm talking about the consoles, not the board. Yeah, including the board games. What else? The scavenger hunt could be less hard. Yeah, that's about it.
What was the most difficult part about attending the AniMeet? I don't think. Was there any difficult part? I don't think so. People were hugging the game section. Like they were playing games for hours, not even giving other people a chance. That's the only problem I had, because I really wanted to play a game, guys. I only played I think that was 30 seconds before the event closed, and they were taking things out. And that was the only time I played a game. The rest of the day, people were hugging. Why? Don't be selfish. Let other people play. That's the only difficult part I had. Everything else was.
The difficult part is always wondering where I'll get the funding for my cosplays, because they're very expensive to make. This one wasn't as expensive, but that was a difficult part. Figuring out where to get the money to buy everything that I needed, that was a difficult. That's why I think I leave it up to the last minute, because I'm like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? But I eventually managed to get everything that I could. I got the pieces together, and yeah, it was very fun.
The most difficult part about attending AniMeet for me, it was really just the fact that I guess I live a little ways from the venue. I live in the outskirts of Lusaka at this point. Yeah, basically Chongwei. So it was a little bit far from my house, but I'm kind of used to that kind of thing. Everything is far from my house at this point. So I had no difficulties really, other than that, getting to the place, because I knew where Mulungushi Conference Center was. So there was no need for me to start really scouring the earth to find the place. It was an easy find. So I didn't really experience much difficulty in getting to the place, other than living really far away.
The most difficult part about the AniMeet, Honestly, it was smooth sailing for me. The most difficult part was probably talking to people who might have been too shy to come to my booth, or maybe visibility with the booth. Otherwise, it was great. Great thing.
What have you learned from your interaction with Nerd Otaku?
They are a strong working group, and I've been a strong supporter of their work for a while, and I've seen that things have gotten better from, let's say, since 2019. I'm pretty sure that was like my first. Wait, no, it has to be, yes, it definitely was 2019, and it's definitely gotten better. In fact, when it comes to the organizing, and the people that are supposed to be there actually know that it's working and it's there, considering compared to before, when people did not know what the meet was or what was happening, there was nothing. The publicity has gotten better. Even just the way people interact, like now I can tell that people are now more aware that it's going on. When we have meets, we know it's happening, but because it still has ways to go, but it's definitely gotten better from where I used to be.
What have you learned from your role in the community?
So one thing I've learned from my role in the anime community here in Zambia as a cosplayer is really the fact that people want somebody to help them feel safe, like to express themselves, you know, because like as a cosplayer, something I get a lot is that, you know, people saying things like, oh, seeing you cosplay and put yourself out there really gives me the courage to also want to cosplay and not just put myself out there, because you know, a lot of people feel shy to do that kind of thing because it's not very popular here. Like not a lot of people cosplay frequently. Like yes, people will cosplay for events and whatnot, but it's, you know, some people don't not everyone has, like, you know, like socials where they're posting cosplays every week or every day or anything, because you know, they only do it when everyone else is doing it, because you know, it's hard because people will point and laugh sometimes when they don't understand something, but it's necessary for cosplayers like us that are used to putting ourselves out there to help such people feel welcome, so that they can feel safe enough to pursue things like that they're interested in. Because I've definitely had a lot of people say things like they would get into cosplay if they weren't shy, or you know, they're like no, I don't know how to start or where to begin, those kinds of things. So I feel like I've definitely learned that in order for there to exist a safe space for these kinds of things and these kinds of people to partake in these kinds of things, some people will have to help pioneer creating that safe space so that people don't feel too alone. You know what I mean? Like, I hope this makes sense. I hope this makes sense what I'm saying. But you know, it's for people to feel safe, they definitely need somebody to, you know, somebody or some people to help them feel safe, you know, like let them know that there's nothing wrong with doing this, you know, like if you want to do it, you can do it. And that's definitely also another thing I've learned is that, you know, you just gotta do what you want to do. Like I get plenty shy when it comes to cosplay as well. Like I'm like, oh no, should I post this? I don't like the way it came out. I shouldn't post. But then, you know, you post and there will always be at least one person rooting for you and going like, hey, you've done a really good job. And those other kinds of people I really appreciate. Thank you. And you know, I feel like in this community, we need there to be people always there to cheer such people on. People who are really shy but want to do these kinds of things, you know, they need the help and the guidance, and I feel like that's really necessary in a place like this where hobbies like cosplay are not very well known. So, yeah, I hope that made sense.
And there you have it, the voices of the attendees, cosplayers, and vendors who bring anime to life. Stay tuned for more behind the scenes. See you after Anime 2024.